Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Jen. Welcome to Rise and Shine Yoga. We're going to start very shortly. Have your mat, have your space, have some water, have some comfy clothes, and we are going to start in the position of your choice. Rise and Shine is a great way to start your day or a great way to end your day, depending on obviously what time of day it is. Nice and chill, relaxing, going through stretches, going through some poses, just hanging out. So find what feels comfortable for you for a good starting pose to stay for about 2 or 3 minutes. Goes to some breathing, gratitude, body checklists, whatever your rhyme and reason for starting a yoga class. Everyone is different. That's why I don't try to put anyone into a specific posture right away or tell them to do something super specific, because everyone's doing yoga for a different reason. And I would never want to assume anything about your yoga journey, and you would never want to assume anything about mine. So you go into the position that's good for you, and you do what you feel is appropriate for you for the first minute or two. While we let everyone else come to the mat, even if you're rushing to the mat. As before, we just want to give everyone a chance to just kind of decompress before hopping right into our practice for this morning. Okay, so wherever you are, I would like you to transition. So you are seated on your heels. And you can put something underneath, that's fine. You don't have to. Over here, we're just going to do some chest openers first, because I know that when I was doing my little kind of get ready posture, I was leaning forward. You never want to do that, so if I was leaning forward, there was at least one other person that was leaning forward as well. So let's take one arm, bring it behind, open everything up. And even if you weren't, you can still benefit from these postures. And switch it out. Reach towards the opposite shoulder blade, so here. And switch. Release, bring one arm up in kind of a diagonal motion, and then the other arm to match. So pulling back. And drop that arm. And drop the other arm. Come on up, pull across. And then add in that other arm. Drop arm one. Drop arm two. And then diagonal. Down and diagonal down. Drop one arm, and drop the other. And let's just do big circles. And bring one arm up, and we're going to bring the other arm up and back down, and just switch to one arm at a time. Really work on pulling back, straight back, opening up that chest. Let's do two more. One. And two. Beautiful. I would like you to lean forward into a child's pose, but we're going to really open up the upper back. So we're going to lean forward into our little ball, and we're going to let our shoulder blades open up and fall forward and use gravity to help do that for us. So I'm leaning forward, head relaxed. We opened up that chest, and now we're opening up the back. Roll up nice and slow. Pull those shoulders back, and let's twist. And twist the other way. Let's come back to the center, and we're going to go right into a downward dog. Stretch out those calves, stretch out that back. Take your time getting there. Work through any ankle creaks or cracks. Hopefully nothing feels painful for you this morning. Staying here 3 more breaths. Then walking the feet to the middle, and then walking the hands to the feet. So in the middle of the mat, and we're going to roll on up, nice and slow. And pull those shoulders back and down a few times. All right, now we're going to reach towards our opposite elbow, grabbing it if we can, and just standing up nice and tall. And we're just going to lean a little bit one way. Come back to the center, cross my left foot over my right foot, and then I'm gonna lean to the right side. I'm stretching all this. Putting your hands behind their back makes it a little bit harder to balance. Back up. Switch it out, and then lean the other way. Going back to the center. Untwist, let those arms go. Bring your arms in front. Right arm under the left. I'm sorry, right arm under the left. Diverting into another stretch completely. And let's do some eagle arms. So bring those arms up. Our palms are either facing or not. Bring those hands up. And release. And the other way. And lift those arms up, lift those elbows up. And release. Hands behind or on the hips, your choice. And we're just gonna lean forward and come on up. So I wanna have a little bit of a bend in my knees, but I wanna feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of my legs. Two more times. All right, come on up. Let's cross one leg over the other and do that same thing. Now, if this is too much, you can always uncross. It's not a problem. So just leaning forward and leaning back. I'm only going to feel that stretch on the back leg because my front knee is bent more. So I'm going to feel that in the straight leg. Working a little bit of balance. Warming the body up just a little bit more. 2 more times. Making those feet need to work. Okay, and let's switch it over other side. Same thing. Alright, laying down. We're moving slow. You don't have to go my speed. More. And last one. And untwist. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go into a chair posture. So your hands can be here, they can be here, or they can be here. Your choice. All we're just going to do is sit down and back like we're going to be in a chair, but the chair is not going to be there. So I'm going to have my arms just out to the front. For me, you can adjust to where you would like to put your arms. So we're here, and we're just sitting back and down. I'm leaning forward a little bit with my body, but I'm not hunched. My back is straight, and I'm sitting back. There's an imaginary chair right here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. We're going to do that 3 more times, and you can make any adjustments you want. You can go lower, you can do higher. You can make your arms down, middle, or up high. Not a problem. Your choice completely. And let's sit back and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come on up. Last time in this forward position, pick your arms and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on up. All right, so now we're going to add in our rotation. So we're going to take our arms either in a prayer position or in a fist in hand over position. I'm more comfortable with this one than this just because of the position of my wrist that you can pick and choose. And we're going to rotate to one side, putting this arm on the top of this leg, and then come back, reset, and the other way. We're going to hold this position for 20 seconds. Cool, and you can adjust the depthness of your squat to make it work. All right, so pick which side's gonna go first. I'm gonna go this direction first. You can follow me if you want, no worries. And we're gonna sit back and we're gonna twist for 1, 2, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, roll it up. All right, same thing, other side. We're gonna go through this once, so don't worry. All right, pick your hand position. Pick which direction you're going. And let's go. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Roll it up. Shake it out. Move those feet. All right, so let's come down to our knees. We're gonna sit back on our heels again. We're gonna put our arms out to the side and we're gonna bring our belly button up towards the ceiling, doing a little stretch of the quads. So let's lean forward and stretch. And release. If that feels good and you want to do it again, beautiful. If not, we're going to come on up. And I'm going to put one hand back and the other hand back about my glutes, maybe a little bit lower or maybe a little bit higher. All depends on where it feels good. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a back bend. So let's lean back and stretch. Release. And if that felt good, stay there. Otherwise, we're going to tuck our toes. And instead of having our arms here, we're going to have our hands grabbing onto our heels. If they don't touch, it's not a problem. You can adjust your hands. Otherwise, we're going to do a little bit of a back bend with our hands on our heels. All right, so let's reach back and go. And release. Beautiful. All right, so let's pick a leg, bring it in front. Doesn't matter which one. Hands are going to be on our thighs. We're just going to lean forward. And release. release. If that felt good, stay there. Otherwise, we're tucking our back toes under and doing the same in a standing lunge as compared to a kneeling lunge. So I'm going to tuck my back toes under. I'm going to come on up. And I'm going to lean forward. If it feels good, stay here. Otherwise, hands up. Hands down. Drop that back knee. Lean forward. And release. Switch out. Other leg in front, other foot in front. And we're leaning forward. That feels good. Stay there. Otherwise, we're tucking those back toes under. And you can help yourself get up. It's not a problem. It's just a morning practice. And leaning on in. And arms up if you want to. And hands down. And bend that knee. And come on back. Beautiful. Take a second, grab some water if you want. All right, let's come onto our knees and bring one leg out to the side. Okay, so we can come down to the ground as much as we want here, feeling a stretch on the inner thigh. That feels good. Stay there. Otherwise, we're coming on up to our hands. And my left leg is the one that's out, so I'm going to bend my right arm and put it on the ground or on a prop. And then I'm going to lift this leg. I'm going to drop that leg. Come back to hands on the ground. And then forearms on the ground. And release. Let's switch it over. Other leg. Just going to slide over a little bit so I stay in frame. Alright, so my right leg is out in this particular case. I'm on my forearms or a prop. And then come to hands. If my right foot is out, I'm going to bend my left arm, forearm on the ground, and then lift that leg. And drop that foot back to forearms. Oh, sorry, back to hands and now back to forearms. Sorry. If you went to forearms, no worries. Nothing wrong with staying there a little extra. And release. Beautiful. Move my prop out of the way. Take a second, shake it out, grab some water if you want it. Drop your head to one side, drop your ear towards that shoulder. And switch. Let's come back to our head back to the regular position, and then come back to downward dog. 5 breaths here. Lift the right leg up and bend that knee, bring it on forward and come on up into a high lunge. Take a second, make sure your feet are spread as wide as they need to be for your balance today, and bring those hands on the hips. Bring those arms to the side. Arms up high. Hands to prayer. And twist. Come back up through prayer. Up high. To the side. And down. Bring those hands to the middle and then come back to downward dog. Hold here, 5 breaths. That was a lot on that leg, I know. So we're going to match it on the other side. Let's take that left leg, bring it up, and bring that knee in. And foot on the ground. And roll it up. Make any adjustments that you need to. Arms to the side. Arms up. Prayer. twist. And prayer. Arms up. To the side. And down. Bring those hands to the ground. Downward dog. 5 breaths. And then drop those knees and come back into that position we did at the beginning of class where we're rolling into a ball and we're opening up those shoulder blades. Roll up halfway, open those knees as wide as the mat, feet are touching, and then bring those hands in front. Head on the ground. Come back up. Beautiful. Bring those knees in. Swing those feet around. All right, 1 foot out. 1 foot in. Point those toes up towards the ceiling and just point them and just pull them back. Pull them back with your mind. Really pull that foot back. Spread those toes nice and wide. Really stretch that calf. And keeping that foot in that same position, now walk your upper body down. The stretch should be intensified. And come on back a little bit. Keep that arm, hand right on top of the leg, and then bring the other arm up and over. Stacking shoulders on top of shoulders to the best of your ability. And release that foot, relax, and we'll switch it over to the other side. All right, so toes are pointed up to the ceiling. Really pulling that foot back and really opening up those toes, big wide. Taking up as much space as possible. Usually your toes are squished together in shoes and socks and slippers and whatever you got going on for your footwear, so it's really nice to spread those toes wide when you can. And then walk that hand down. And then bring that other arm up and over the top. And release. Bring those feet back in. And bring the feet to the outsides of the mat and bring the knees into touch. I'm just going to slide my hips in a little bit so it's comfortable for me. I'm going to bring my shoulders back and down to the best of my ability. So I'm going to adjust when you need to. Open up that chest and have the knees touch. I'm going to look a long way. And look the other way. I'm going to come back to the center. I'm going to walk my feet in. I'm going to adjust so I can let go of my arms. I'm going to hug my knees in. And then I'm going to take one arm, open it up to the side. Hold it here. And then switch. So I'm going horizontal to the ground right now. All right, I'm going to come back in. Now I'm going to go diagonally up. And back in. And diagonally up. And in. And diagonal down. And in. And down. And come back in. So we're going to do that again, but I want you to slide your feet farther out a little bit. So you're only going to hold on to your knees a little bit as compared to holding on for dear life. So my arm is just kind of there. And I'm going to open up to the side. And then switch. And diagonal up. And switch. And diagonal down. And switch. Last time through, I want you to hold on to your knees, not at all. So put your hands kind of wherever they need to be, so they're not holding on, so you're relying on your core to hold yourself up. If you need to hold on, totally fine, not a problem, but we're going to try to hold on as little amount as we can. All right, so we're leaning back. Open up to the side. And switch. And come back, diagonal up. And switch. And then diagonal down. Almost done. And switch. Beautiful. Come back to the center, drop those hands. All right, so we have either 2 minutes of abs or 2 minutes of playtime, depending on what you want to do for today. If you want to play and you want to do something that your body's really craving that we didn't do, this is the time to do it. If you're like, yeah, it's pretty good, then you're going to join me in 2 minutes of abs. And if you don't want to do either one, you can go to Shavasana and get a full 5 minutes of Shavasana instead of 2 or 3. All right, so if you're joining me for the abs, let's come down to the forearms. We're going to lift those feet, lift those knees, and we're just going to kick one out. And the out, and in. So we're staying in this tabletop position with our legs, and we're relaxing our head and neck as much as possible. And we're slowly kicking out. And then coming a couple inches above the ground. If you want to make this harder, you can by alternating at the same time. So instead of coming all the way in, as soon as one comes in, the other's coming out. So we're going to do whatever you're doing. We're going to do a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Come on in, lean back, hug those knees in. Big squeeze. Then drop those knees to the right. And then drop those knees to the left. Come back to the middle, a big squeeze. And then set yourself up for Shavasana. If you're not already there, and if you're done playing, we have time for about 2.5 minutes. Relaxing, tucking those shoulder blades under, letting those legs relax, letting those arms relax, letting your mouth relax, putting your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And nice, big, deep breaths. I invite you to stay here as long as you want. Otherwise, rolling onto one side and using that top arm to push ourselves up to a seated position. Thanks so much for coming to class with me this morning or this evening. I enjoyed stretching with you. If you have any suggestions on classes you would like at any point in time, please let any of us know. Otherwise, I'll see you on Thursday.